Welcome back, everyone. It is Sunday sit-down time. Joining me tonight, Ehren Earleywine, Jefferson City Athletic Director. Thank you for joining me tonight. How's your Sunday been going so far?
It's been great. It's been a busy Sunday, but it's been great.
Well, I'm sure a busy Sunday because the fall sports season is coming up. First of all, though, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about last year, everything that happened. Kind of take me through the last year. What has it been like being an athletic director in the last year?
It was tough. I tell you, our whole department took a hit last year, as did everybody in the whole working world. So I think the fact that we had to issue player cards to all of our events, we had to manage capacity with different sort of props in the stands. It was all tough. The thing we're most proud of is that we got to compete. And some games got canceled, of course, but for the most part, our kids got to continue to participate, and really that was the goal of the whole situation. When you look back on our season as a whole, I thought we did pretty good. We had 7 conference championships, 7 district championships, and we had 3 teams that went to the Final Four. Our participation numbers continue to grow. Our team GPA for all of our athletes in the middle school and high school is around a 3.2, so there's a lot of great things going on with our department right now.
Speaking of this year, I'm curious, is it kind of getting back to normal a little bit, or what does your guys' regulations look like for fall sports?
It is, and I think most people you talk to, whether it's our athletes or our teachers or even people in the community, to a degree they're over the COVID thing. They're ready to move on, and I get that. And so thankfully, as of today, if we started school today, there would be no restrictions on attending events. There would be no capacity requirements for any of our contests. So we're trying to enter school as normal as we can, and we'll adjust accordingly. And I know things are ramping up in certain places, and Cole County's had some incidents, but we're really thankful right now that our administration is allowing us to move forward with really no restrictions.
I'm curious, have you heard from parents about how happy they are? I'm sure to get back to their kids' games, like you said, giving player cards out, that had to be tough, limiting how many people could see their kid play on each night. So I'm curious if you've heard from any parents for this year.
A little bit. I mean, everybody's excited about the no restrictions concept, and hopefully we can proceed with that. I was really pleasantly surprised with the amount of complaints that we had, which was very few. There's a lot of people out there last year that felt strongly about masks and social distancing and all that stuff. But when we continued to participate and have events, we didn't get a lot of pushback. As a matter of fact, to be honest, in the entire year, I did not receive one phone call or email saying that we shouldn't be doing what we're doing, so that was a real positive.
When you look at the Jefferson City community as a whole, it obviously has been through so much in the past couple of years. You look at the tornado, everything with COVID. Do you think that's just kind of a signature of Jefferson City just kind of being strong and getting through that? Is that what you saw in the last year as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of strength there. There's a lot of blue-collar people that know how to fight. But we've been through some tough stuff, and we're looking forward to some normalcy if we can, so we can focus on what's important, which is our kids. And, you mentioned it. We had a tornado. The schools split. Our high schools went in 2 different directions, and that was a big change. And then COVID hit, so we're not going to know how to act, when things are normal, but we're looking forward to trying it.
Well, speaking of normal, we're under 2 weeks away from fall sports, football especially. Look at the new hires you've had on these football teams. I want to start with Damon Wells with Jefferson City. I'm curious, what did you see from him in that hiring process, and what did you guys like about him?
He's an intellect. He does a really, really good job of strategizing, and the tactical part of Coach Wells was really strong and kind of trumped all the candidates that we had. And we had quite a few. He brings a lot of success where he came from, so we know that there's a history of it and there's experience. He does a great job of building culture and relationships with our kids. There's a lot of excitement right now around our football program at JC.
When you look at the history of Jefferson City football especially, and you look at what Damon Wells is probably trying to build, do you think he's probably trying to build maybe his own history, or what have you talked to him about? Is he not really looking back maybe? You think of Pete Atkins, you think of stuff like that, but is it a new chapter?
It is, and the part of the problem with being the JC head football coach is that you are following in Pete Atkins' footsteps to some degree. Thankfully, we've had 3, 4, 5 coaches since Coach Atkins, and so I think some of that has died. I think the win right now for the Jeff City football coach is not winning a state championship, but is being responsible for turning the program around. And I think that's what Damon's committed to doing. He knows that those are the expectations, that they're very realistic for the next couple of years. But we just need somebody to come in, stay there, provide consistency, make sure that we recruit internally and keep our own kids. And in doing so, I think in 3 or 4 years, Coach Wells is going to have things turned around.
I don't know how much you've been able to be out there at all, but have you heard from any kids at all about how they're liking Coach Wells, you know, what he's been bringing to the program?
Yeah, I stay in contact with a lot of the kids, and so far, all the comments have been positive. Like I said, one of the things we checked on was how he does with the relationship building part. Back at Rifle High School in Colorado, and he got glowing responses on those phone calls that we made. So, and he's carried that over to JC. He's doing a great job. Kids love him. The coaches really like him so far. So I think things are moving in the right direction.
You know, moving to the other side of the district, Capital City High School, Joe Collier, kind of the same question for you.
Yeah.
What did you see from him? Obviously experience here in mid-Missouri and Columbia, but what did you see from him for that hire?
Yeah, you're right. So Joe comes from Rockbridge High School. I think he was an assistant there for 17 years. Kids love Joe. That was the one thing that no matter who we talked to, that Joe's players loved playing for him. And you know, we thought we had some stability with the program. Coach Jolly was the coach there at Cap City. He decided to go to Osage, and so once again, newness, you know, and somebody trying to build some consistency. But everything I've heard is great. There's a lot of excitement around the program. I think Joe's going to do a great job, and we're looking forward to seeing where he goes with the program in the future.
What would you say is a good goal for Joe in his first year? You know, you mentioned consistency, but what do you think would be the signature of a successful season?
Being competitive. I think especially with the 7 conference games that we have in football, being able to look all those teams right in the eye, whether you win or lose or whatever, just being able to compete. And I think that was missing last year. In their defense, they didn't have a senior class. So this year they will have a senior class, but the newness is going to have its effects. But I think at the end of the day, if they're competitive against the teams they're playing against in our conference, we'll consider that significant progress in the right direction.
Well, I have to say, one really fun game last year was that Jefferson City Helias game, the first rivalry game of that sort. It's back this year. I'm curious your thoughts on that game. What did you like about it?
Well, I'm glad it was fun for you because it wasn't fun for me. Yeah, so Helias, that was the first time we'd ever played, and there was a lot of excitement around that. But obviously they had the better team and came out on top. And I think I speak on behalf of all the Jeff City J football fans that we would have loved to have played them from 1965 to 2000 and seen what the win-loss record was then. But it is what it is, and we had to play them when our program was down and theirs was up. But we hope in a short amount of time we'll be back and able to compete and play them a little bit more competitively in the future.
So that's a more immediate goal for Coach Wells, right? Maybe
Absolutely.
Getting this rivalry game done.
Yeah. Yeah, if he can win that game, they'd raise a statue of him on Jeff City's campus, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure he loves to hear that. Well, I appreciate...
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure, right?
Yeah.
In his first year. Well, I appreciate you joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. As for you guys, we'll be right back after the break.